today we're going to discuss the parsha today, and we're going to get into at the end about Elul. So this week's parsha, like in Parsha Shmini, it talks about the kosher animals and the non-kosher animals. So everyone knows, I'm sure, what are the signs how you tell if it's a kosher animal or not? There's two signs, right? For animal. Oh, good. Good. Ma'alageda mafreset parsa. What are these two things? Ma'alageda, of course, means the shoe cut, and mafreset parsa means that it's just hooves or split. Have to be totally split. Mafreset parsa. Yeah. Okay. So the Rebbe is going to talk about it. What's that mean in Avodas Hashem? These two simanim. Right? Everyone says, what is kosher? People in the world ask, what's kosher? You tell them, kosher, oh, it has these two signs, and that's it. So it sounds like sort of like some...
Like a chok.
Like a chok, yeah.
Years ago, they used to say, oh, the rabbi blessed it.
Yeah, they still say it, you know,
That's
some
the way
places.
it used to say?
Years ago, yeah. That was the level they wanted.
Yeah. So he's going to talk about and teach us how we're going to apply this to our day-to-day life. It's it's a Yiddish, but I'm going to say it outside. Say translate.
Yeah, better.
Okay, so what we're going to say in this coming sif, that's the first sif. I think we spend more outside. I think more people rather outside, right?
Only one guy speak Yiddish.
Only one, right?
All the rest no.
Okay. So you'll correct me when I make a mistake. Okay, so the first point is the Rebbe says, like we just finished saying, that there's two signs of an animal which you should eat. Like so, ma'alageda mafreset parsa, you have to choose its cud, right? It swells, it comes up again, choose it again a few times, and also, like we said, split hooves. That's the first paragraph. So the next paragraph that the Rebbe discusses a Rogat Shaver. Rogat Shaver was a famous guy in Dvinsk. He was the Rebbe of Dvinsk. And he says like this, it's certain signs of the Torah tells us certain signs for certain things, like the kosher signs, the kosher symbols, the simanim of what's kosher, what's not. So some of them are there, they're what causes if it should be kosher or not. I could say that these signs cause it should be kosher or not. Right? And so let's say it wouldn't have these signs, even though you know it was born from this animal, so you say it's kosher because it doesn't have these things which cause it not to be kosher. The reason why it's not kosher, hasibah, that it's not kosher, is why? Because it has these signs. For example, if let's say the chazir is not kosher, right? It's a lotov. Let's say it has split hooves. It does have split hooves, right? That's why it says the chazir sticks its feet out when it lies down to show everyone that he's as if he's good. But he doesn't. It's not ma'alageda, right? Right. So it says when Mashiach is going to come, it says the chazir is going to become kosher. That's why it's called chazir. Chazir because it's yachzer. It's to be tar. So the question, how's it going to be tar? So some people explain, they say if we say that the kosher symbols, the simanim, they're there, that's what makes it kosher, or makes it not kosher, right? So let's say when Mashiach is going to come, it's going to start chewing its cud. It's going to start having ma'alageda. When Mashiach is going to come, it's going to change. It's going to change. Its nature, it's a tevah shelo. It's going to be different. It's going to be ma'alageda. It's going to start chewing its cud.
So when the Mashiach comes, it's going to be the same with the rules. Just the animal's going to change.
Yeah, that's what.
That would be after a while because the Rambam.
Nothing's going to change. You're asking. Good questions. Good questions. Yeah.
But wait a sec. Don't we say hayotze me hatohar tar if a regular cow has a baby, and this baby is not going to have those simanim? So according to that idea, Hayotze Me'atar, it's still going to be kosher.
Right. Okay.
So that would be an argument against what
exactly.
you're saying that it
Exactly.
causes it.
This is a Mishnah. What you're saying. So there is. We're not. The thing is, I don't want to get too involved in this whole thing because you're all asking questions, but that's not going to be the discussion thing. I just want to get. We just want to. Bring out this point that there's two ways of looking at the simanim which make it kosher or not. So one way of looking at it is that that's the siba which goyim, which causes, that's the reason which causes it to be kosher or not. So if we say if it has the simanim then it's kosher, if it doesn't have the simanim it's not kosher. So like we said, if the chazer would have it then it would become kosher. That's one way that we're saying it's called gormim, the gorem to be it kosher or not. That's one way of looking at it. And there's another way, like you're saying, that it's just a sign that tells us that it's kosher. That really, a chazer is always not kosher, right? Only what? How do we know that it's not kosher? How do we know it's not kosher?
Because there's this
because it only has a sign of the split hooves, but doesn't chew its cud. That's how we know. But even if it would, according to this, even if it would chew its cud, it still wouldn't be kosher. Because really it's because Hashem said that it's not kosher. It's just a siman. There's two ways of looking at it. Do we look at it as the gorem, that it's the cause for it, that the signs are causing it to be kosher or not? Or then if it would have the sign, then it would become kosher and have both signs. Or do we say no? Hashem said this is not kosher. That's it.
That's specific about this and this.
Yeah, exactly. Not kosher.
The rest, if it's not, it's going to be kosher.
So how do we know if it's kosher or not? He gave a sign to see if it's not kosher or not. Yeah. So then, even if you'll find some chazer which is chewing its cud, it's still not kosher. Yeah. So it's two ways. That's called the way the Rocket Shower says mavdilim. It's mavdil. It tells us the difference, distinguishes between one type to another type. So it just tells us the difference, but really, it doesn't cause that it should be kosher or not kosher.
This is why the Torah said Divra Torah b'lishon b'nei Adam. They give us very simple to understand our logic how this is kosher and not kosher.
Right. So this is a whole discussion in the Rogachover. He has a Sefer Tzafus Panech on the Rambam. Okay. Now in Chassidus, discusses. It tells us about the Kabbalah, it tells us the different things, the Sfirot, the Olomot, and all the very high spiritual, supernal worlds and realms. It tells us all about it. It tells us about Hashem, it tells us about all the Malachim, the angels, it tells us all different things. Now how does it tell us about it? We're physical people, right? We're physical, Gashmiat. That's it, we know. We don't know, we never saw Ruchniut, we never saw it. So how does Chassidus explain it to us? It uses mishalim, uses examples of parable, right? That's how it tells us. So a mashal, when you want to give an example, a mashal for something, it's something usually different than the thing the way you're trying to, the nimshal. The nimshal is the moral, the thing which you're trying to learn out from it. It's a different thing, right? So you're talking about one thing, and in order to explain it, you bring from somewhere else, from left field, to try to explain bring the point across. Right. So in Chassidus, it brings a mashal to explain. It brings an example, a parable to explain about Malachim, about the Sfirot, everything in the Shemaya, all the things are Ruchniut. Now Chassidus says, so B'Pashtut, you would think that the mashal is something separate than the thing which you're talking about. Chassidus says no. The fact that the mashal, that this thing could be a mashal for something, for let's say if you want to talk about Sfiras HaMalchus, you want to talk about Malchus, Sfiras HaMalchus. It's one of the supernal beings, entities, entities. So because this could be an example, like it says Malchus Peh, it says in Pasuk Liyah, that if you want an example what Malchus is, Hashem's Malchus, the example is the mouth, speech, mouth. That's an example. That's a mashal. So you could say it's nothing to do with Malchus. It's two separate things. The Peh, the speech, and the Malchus are two separate things. But Chassidus says no. The mouth, the speech is a direct is a direct outcome of Malchus, the way it's in the spiritual world. It's like a chain. You take a chain,
It's
one
connected,
chain.
It's connected.
It comes from it.
The source.
It's the source. The source of speech, of peh, of dibur, comes from Malchus.
Okay.
So everything.
And what is the definition of Malchus?
Malchus means kingship.
Kingship. Is it a level? Is it a
It's
level?
a level.
A spiritual level?
There's 10 svidus. Hashem has 10
Right.
svidus. The lowest is Malchus.
Moses is a Malchus.
Yeah. So I don't want to really get into that whole thing. That's another
There's
whole.
levels. Okay,
but,
we're just
But it's
discussing. It's
but-
fine. It's all good.
But no, it's important. It's a good thing to know. But so the point is that everything has a source above. So if let's say we want to talk about chesed, kindness. Hashem has chesed. Hashem's kindness. Hashem's kindness is not like our kindness, right? But we could explain it to us, we explain it through our kindness. It's the way we understand it. We don't really know Hashem's kindness, Hashem's chesed. That's beyond us. If you go on the lower level, what's kindness? Is something, let's say, sweet idea, sweet kindness, a sweet idea, where you can have something, sweet feelings, kind. You can have a sweet song. We're going lower and
How
lower and
about
lower.
with judgment? When it comes to judgment, you can have kindness. That's a big item.
I'm showing there's a whole chain of it going lower and lower. We could go a sweet song. Then you go lower, a sweet taste and a sweet apple. This all comes from chesed, all comes from kindness. But it's on a lower level, coming lower and lower. So too, anything which is a mashal, which is an example for something of Hashem, something so Chassidus explains, it comes from that level. That's the source. The mashal it comes from the nimshal. Okay, so basically the point that you want to bring out from this whole thing is that even if we want to say that the simanim, the signs of the kosher animal, is just a sign to show us this, it's not actually what makes it kosher or not. It's not the geirim, but it's still connected. The fact that these are the signs of the kosher animal, there must be a connection between the two, or else these wouldn't be the signs. Why specifically these are the signs? Right? Why did Hashem make these are the signs? Could it make something else? Could it make blue, black, and pink? Why did he make these the signs? So it must be, for sure, there's a connection between them. If everything's hashgacha pratis, for sure, this is hashgacha pratis. Okay, we're holding base.
Good point.
So it explains like this. What do we eat, right? We're eating. We go to
It's in Yiddish. You don't understand. You don't explain in English.
Rav Sasson prepared tonight some good food tonight, right? And we should pass it around. Maybe somebody wants some fruit over here. Want fruit, cake?
No, thank you.
Oh.
We're good.
Okay.
Lose weight.
So we're going to talk about food a little bit because we're talking about animals, eating animals, right? So the purpose of the animal, of the vegetables, and we call it daimim semeh chai. Daimim, we divide the world into 4 parts. What are the 4 parts we divide the world into?
Domem, tzomeh,
Chai and medaber.
medaber.
Daimim, things which don't have any life, like a table. You have a rock, right? Tzemeach, things which grow. Chai, animals, life. Medaber, people. Okay? So the purpose of the daimim tzemeach chai, the purpose of everything besides for the person, is that they should be used for the person, and they should be part of the person. That's the purpose. The purpose is not that they should stay by themselves. The purpose is that we should take the piece of cake and we should say a bracha on it, and we should eat it, and we should have chayut, get energy from it, and then we could serve, we could learn Torah, and we could daven. So that's the purpose of everything in the world. It's not to stay the way it is. The point is that a person should use it. Everything should become part of the medaber, but should become part of the person. That's the purpose of everything. It says that also in a person himself, the Gemara says that there are three people who are compared to the three things which a person is similar to an animal, but there's certain things which a person is not similar to an animal. So, in the person himself, everything in the person himself should be used for what a person's about, right? Because the person also in himself has all these type of things. The person has all these parts of Daimon Semech Chai in himself. Everything should be used what a person's supposed to be really used for. A person shouldn't use it for like an animal uses it. He should use it like a person's supposed to use it. Like for example, the midas. The midas are like tzemeach. The midas are the emotions. They're like tzemeach, like things which grow. Why they like things which grow is because the midas, the emotions also grow. They become bigger and smaller, they grow. Right? So the midas, the person has inside of them, gimel. I'm saying outside of that. The midas, a person should be used.
Me. Morocco.
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny.
Casablanca.
Yeah, that. So
The Gemara didn't say Kol ma shebara Kadosh Baruch Hu lechvodi bara. Everything that creates in the world, it's for me. Exactly what you say.
Exactly, yeah. So also in the person himself, everything the person has, like the person's midot, his emotions, should be used for what a person is supposed to be. Not like a behemoth. A person can use it like a behemoth, use it like an animal. The point is, it should be like a person's supposed to be. Everything a person has inside. Just like in the world, we say we should eat the animal, the person should eat it, and he should get chayot, he say a bracha on it, and he should use it to serve Hashem. So too, everything in the person himself also should be used out for what a person's supposed to be doing.
Are we doing this to elevate the holiness in this world?
Yeah.
Isn't everything to elevate?
Exactly. Everything should be moving up.
To move up, not
move up.
To move up. It's positive.
Not down, yeah.
It's positive. Right.
Yeah.
If you eat, you have koach to serve Hashem. While we're eating,
You make a baracha.
So,
It's all to elevate.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. Verachten. So,
barachta or barachta?
so it should become part of the Adam, become part of the person. That's the purpose. What's a person? Adam. Adam is Adama Le'elyon. Adam comes from the Lashon, from the language Adama Le'elyon. To become part, to be similar to Hashem, similar to Elyon, to Hashem.
But didn't say Adam la'amal yulad.
What type of work the Gemara talks about? Amal Sicha, Amal Teira, right? The Teira talks about what Amal is supposed to do. So the purpose of everything in the world, the Daimim Tzemeach Chai, is to become part of the Adam. We should eat it. We should have the Adam, the Daimim Chai, and it should become part of us, and we should lift it up. And the purpose of that is to become part of the Adam. What's the Adam? The Adam. We have Adam over here.
Adam, yeah.
Oh, Adam is here.
Adam here.
So Adam is Adam Elyon, to be similar to above, to be similar to Hashem. Like it says in the about the Merkava, it says the Navi says that Hashem was appeared as Adam Elyon Shalakise, as the person above who was on the chair. Obviously, it's a mashal, it's an example. As the Shalom to say, Hashem has a certain way he looks, but it's that mashal we see is because of the real person. The purpose of everything in Daimon Tzemeach Chai is to become part of the Adam, and the purpose of the Adam is to become part of the Adam Elyon, the Adam Elyon. How do you become part of the Adam Elyon? How do we do this? So he says like this, because there's a concept that says in Gemara, it's a shluchei shel adam kameisei, right? A person is a shliach. You can make a shliach. A shliach is your messenger. You're a representative. In halacha, there's such a thing. A person could make a shliach. If you wanna be mekadesh a woman, you wanna be mekadesh a woman, you wanna do kedushin, right? So you could send a shliach to be mekadesh the woman. And the shliach is like you yourself. Right? If you, whatever you can do, you can send a shliach. So, and it says that the shliach is just like the person himself, and there's a whole discussion of how much is he like the person himself. There's a piece of Enkel as there's a Chuvas Riva says he's like until he's k'meisi mamish, until he's mamish like the person himself.
You can send it to commit a crime.
Nah, that ain't shliach with that aved. Right, there's no shliach with that aved because but for shliach, what he's allowed to be a shliach for, so for a mitzvah, for something good, so then he's like mamish like the person himself. So it says Alter Rebbe L'Koti Torah that also every person, shliach is what? They in Gittin they do it. No, also Gittin by divorce also they do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
By marriage we usually don't do shliach anymore. They actually do it themselves because mitzvah beis b'shluchim. But by Gedishin, many times people send the get through with the shliach.
Come Thursday night, 8:30. They're learning Gerushin, Kuvot, and others.
Most Gittin are like that. Most Gittin are with the shliach.
Yom Hamishi, Balayla.
Right, they don't want to see each other.
Yesh Tanya.
They don't want to see room.
Library,
So they send. They have a shliach with Kabbalah. I also was a shliach once for the shliach for Kabbalah. Not so happy. I'm saying not the happiest thing, but.
Wow, Kedoshim, Lamdim B'Yam Hamishi, Kedoshim. He's asking to learn here.
Right.
Here we learn Kedoshim.
Starting to finish.
It's funny because you give the shit. That's your shliach.
Yeah, you give the shit. That's being a man.
So I have Miraza's brother. Yeah.
That's the shliach.
Shliach from Yanovs.
Where?
Yanovs. You know Lenin?
Russia.
Lenin Yamach yeah.
Russia.
So this is Lenin's birthplace.
Your brother told a story about you in Russia. We
Yeah.
get to drink?
So he says that so Hadis the Alter Rebbe says a very interesting thing. So just like you have this thing of shluchah shaladon k'meisei, so shluchah shaladon k'meisei, you also could be Hashem shliach. Shluchah shaladon elyon k'meisei. We could be Hashem shliach. When we do Hashem shluchos, Hashem gave us a shluchos. When we do Hashem shluchos, so through that we become like Hashem, like a part of Hashem. Shluchah shalom k'meisei. Very powerful, yeah?
That's the whole idea of being a shaliach.
Yeah? Yeah? Because the Rebbe is openly connected to the Eibishter, and so we have an open connection to Hashem. Yeah, so this is the powerful point, that just like we have idea that the person who you make as a shliach is like you yourself, so also Hashem made every yid to be a shliach. When every yid does what Hashem wants, as shluchos, so mamash like Hashem, like a part of Hashem. And that's the purpose. The purpose is that we should use the Daimon Sameach Chaim Medaber. We should use it out for the Daimon Sameach Chaim. Everything in which we have in this world, we should use it out, and should come part of the Medaber, part of the person, part of the Adam. And the purpose of the Adam is that he should become part of the Adam Elyon. And he says this, there's a seder. We don't right away jump to being totally one with Hashem. There's steps. First it says Achrei Hashem Lekeichem Telechu. We're superficially connected. We're shlichum superficially. Then we have more than that. That we become one with Hashem. Our whole being becomes one with Hashem. That we don't have any. Everything about us is about Hashem. When we see you, we see Hashem.
Aren't we supposed to spread what Hashem gave us? Yeah, Hashem gave us the Torah. Okay. So we should spread this in the world. This is why the world exists. Without the Torah, there's no world.
Yeah.
So this is like the Jewish nation's job.
That's it, because we're Hashem's representatives in this world.
There's nothing.
Chosen nation, the Jews are the representatives of Hashem in this world.
Exactly.
That's why it's so important what we do. It's a Kiddush Hashem, a Chil Hashem, because we're so connected with Hashem. So Moshe was the epitome of this.
Very big stuff here.
Moshe was able to say, it says, V'nasati, we had this past week parsha also, V'nasati Esav, I will give the grass. If you're gonna listen, then I'm gonna give grass. What do you mean I'm gonna give? Hashem's gonna give the grass. V'nasati Esav. So with Pashtos, you say he's just speaking for Hashem, but he's speaking like he's gonna give it, because he wasn't a Metzius. His whole Metziut was only part of Hashem. So he was the other mashal, and he reached the highest madrega, that he became part of Hashem. Okay, so now let's get back to what we're talking about. The whole idea was about kosher, right? We said, so we explained that kosher was the idea that when we're eating the animal, it's becoming part of the person. The person uses it for the Adam Ali and becomes part of Hashem. So how do we know if we're doing what we're supposed to do, if the shluchus is the way it's supposed to do? So we have two signs. What are the two signs? Right? What did we say before? What were the two?
Mafresis parsa and malakay.
Exactly. So we're first going to start with Mafresis parsa with the split hooves. What does it mean, split hooves? So it explains that split hooves means there are two lines over here, right? One on the right, one on the left. Two lines. We can't just stick to one thing. We have to do two things. What are the one thing? What are the two things? It says that Rabbi Chanina ben Tradian, he used to do two things. He used to do chesed and he used to do gvura. Kava chesed, kava gvura. He was very kind. He used to do a lot of stuff, a lot of good things, and also kava gvura when he had to be strong. When he had to judge or do something, he did it all the way. But it wasn't that he did this half and this halfway, this fully and this half. Both of them he did with the same energy. So what do we see? If a person, everyone has a certain nature, a certain tava. Some people are more kind people, some people are more serious people. Different types of people. Everyone has a different tava, a different nature. So how do we know if we're really serving Hashem, or we're just doing it because this is what's comfortable for us? Which means we could do a lot of good things, but it could be because this is our nature, this is comfortable. So we're really just serving our comfort. We're not really serving Hashem. It's not real L'Shem Shemayim. How do we know that it's real L'Shem Shemayim? How do we know that we're doing the shluchus for Hashem? That's if we're doing both things. We're doing a lot of tzedakah, we're doing a lot of Torah, we're doing both things equally. Right? So when it comes to halacha, we're very serious. You see different types of people. You see some people, they're very frum, very halacha people. Like when it comes to din, they're like very exact, and they wouldn't go off one little thing. But when it comes to being nice to other people, he's a very serious guy. He's not so nice. He gets a little angry and everything. Like you don't see him there. On the other hand, you have other people, beautiful people, hearts of gold. They're so nice. They'll do anything for you. But when it comes to halacha, they're very wishy-washy. They're very lenient. So you can't judge a person, but it's because a person has a certain nature. A person is natural, comfortable for the person. How do you know the person is doing the Shem Shemayim, is doing it for Hashem? If he has both, he's both in both sides. He's both when it comes to gvura, things of being when it comes to being serious, he's serious. But when it comes to being good and being nice with people, he's there. But if not, it's that one thing he's full and the other thing a little bit. He has to be full chayus in both, energy in both.
People develop, they grow in their life. People don't stay at the same pace. They're constantly changing. So, what you're saying is...
That's why you need a second thing. That's why you need a second sign. That's what I was going to explain. The second sign, what you're going to see, is because a person has to always chew over. Check again and again and again, because it's not so simple. The person thinks, I figured myself out. This is who I am, and I see that this is what I'm doing. I'm doing both things perfectly. Check again and check again and check again. You have to keep chewing it over and over and over. It's not just. It doesn't just.
stay in one place.
As long as we have another day in this world, there's a reason why we're here for another day. There's more work to do. Every day that Hashem gives us means we have to grow. Every living thing has to grow and grow and grow. So we always have to chew it over and go further and further. Every morning, for some reason, the Yitzhak comes back, and the same. He's always there in the morning.
He's the first one.
He's before you wake up. He's ready.
To play tricks.
Yeah. That's why we have to daven again, the same davening again and again, you know. The same story every day. So it says like this. So
one step ahead, a few steps ahead.
It says in Sifri, the Sifri says that Av and Yira, fear and love of Hashem, are two opposites. And they can only be together when we're in Avedas Hashem, when we're serving Hashem for real. That's why we find also that Avrumi Lerner had 10 Nisim, right? Only by the 10th one that Hashem we say every morning, Ati Yadaiti, Ki Yadei Elikim Ato. Only now I know that you're really God-fearing. What do you mean? And the first 9 Nisyonot, the first 9 tests which Avram had were nothing. They were easy. Being thrown into a furnace or Kazdim. That's nothing. What do you mean Ati Yadait? Only now I know.
This was the highest of the highest.
Why is this the highest of the highest? So one of the explanations is, which like we're saying now, Avram was a very kind person.
Chesed.
Chesed. He used to, Avram was the B'china of Chesed. Avram used to always give Achnasas Archim, right? When it came this time that Hashem told him to go shecht his only son, that's not Chesed. To go shecht your son, to kill your son, that's Gvura. How could that be Gvura? That's not his nature. Now I know that you're for real.
Very good.
Now I know you're not just doing it because it's your teva, because your nature. This is because this is.
I think that.
Yeah. So.
That was the last Messiah.
Last Messiah.
Was the account.
Yeah. So now, Mafreses Parsa means it has to be totally split. It can't be that it's split only on the top. It has to be split totally from all the way. The whole hook. Yeah, the whole thing. Mafreses Parsa.
And no thin layers.
No thin layers blocking. Has to be totally. So what's that mean? What's that mean to us? And the same thing which we're saying, that this has to be not just superficial. This that we're dealing with both kavim, with both aspects, both inyanim, can't just be superficial. It has to be through and through. It has to be split all the way. We have to be totally involved in both things. And like you said before, but since we're dealing with gashmis, we're dealing with physical things, and sometimes very low things, low matter, so it's very easy that we should trick ourselves. We could think we're doing things for the best reasons, right? Well, many people have very good intentions, right? Most people have good intentions. Everyone means well. I can't say everyone, but most people mean well. They have good intentions, and they think they mean well, right? But since we're dealing with the physical world, you can never know that we're not really doing it for the L'Shem Shemayim. A person could really be convincing himself. It's not always so. It's very hard to really see if a person's doing it. Even for yourself, you could think, I'm doing this because L'Shem Shemayim, you know. So therefore, we always have to, like you say, we always have to chew the cod. The second thing, we always have to milagate. Again, check yourself again. Check it. Make sure that we're doing it right. Of course, nobody should think that a person shouldn't do good things. We always should do good things. The main thing is we should do good things, right? Don't double think. If you're doing a good thing, if you're doing tzedakah, don't say, I'm not sure if I'm doing tzedakah for the right reason, right?
You do it. That's all.
Alter Rebbe says the story with Alter Rebbe. Alter Rebbe was once traveling before he was the famous Alter Rebbe, but he was a Talmud of the Maggid. So he so he's on his way to the Maggid, so he stops in by a special place, an inn, where over there the person was big machmas eirich. He used to do a lot of He used to invite everyone to his house. He used to give to the poor and everything. He's a beautiful person. And what happened was, the Alter Rebbe was there, and the Alter Rebbe didn't reveal who he was, but he realized that something special about him, and I don't remember the details, but he saw something about the Alter Rebbe. He saw at nighttime, he saw his learning and his davening, so he realized that he was something special. So he came to the Alter Rebbe, and he said, I have a problem. He says, I do all these good things, I'm stuck and everything, but I don't think it's for real. I don't think it's for real. Maybe I should stop. Maybe we shouldn't do it. So Alter Rebbe says, it was still a thought for a while, and he said, but for the poor person, he's really getting chayes. He's really for him it's for real.
On the other end.
The other end is real.
Yeah, from the one who can't. Yeah.
So what we're saying over here, a person shouldn't think that because we're stressing so much how it should be l'shem shemayim, and it should be, a person shouldn't think that,
we say mitoch shelo lishma.
But at the same time, a person should know what's supposed to be. We should know that right now we're going to do a shalei lishma in order that we should come to lishma. We should know what the way it's supposed to be, which means we should know that we're doing a shalei lishma, that eventually we're going to come to the lishma. We should know that we should do both things. We have to realize that we should try to involve ourselves in both things, in halacha and also in chesed. We should be balanced in both ways.
But which one is the stronger one? It said olam chesed yibaneh. Without the chesed, the word is not yibaneh.
Right. So usually we say that, but now the point of this sikha is trying to say that it's about whatever Hashem wants from us. It's whatever Hashem wants. Whatever Hashem wants me now to be serious, wants me to be involved in something which doesn't need to be serious, now be serious. If Hashem wants me now to be involved in chesed, it's not because I want, it's because of what Hashem wants. I'm just doing what Hashem wants, just to ever.
I'm the shaliach.
It's right. It's not for my shleimus. So, right. Okay. So that's the first part of the sikha. Now, the second part. We have 10 minutes left. Is about Elul. So, like we said before, the A is the Rashatevis. The A Elul Hagir.
It's like
Very good.
Okay. So, we're holding.
Very good.
We're holding.
It says Re'ei Elul Higigah. Give a look Elul King. That says something. Very good.
I don't want to. Not really.
free. Just to get married.
Put it on my. If I have pockets, big pockets, I'll take it home.
If you like, I can put it in my free.
All my pockets.
Okay, so the Kuti Teda says, it brings it a mashal, we're talking about Mashalim. It says a mashal, the difference between Elul, the next month, like coming up next week is Elul, and Anila Deidi, right? And afterwards is Tishrei. It explains the difference between Elul and Tishrei, that Elul is the king, is like he's found in the field.
Coming to the Sadeh.
A melech nimsa basal, melech basada. Yeah, melech's in the field. Before he comes to the city. And in Tishrei is like the Melech, he's found in Nimsa Beheichel Machusa. He's found in his glory, in the kavod, in the way he's found in his own palace. Yeah. So what's the difference? See, when he's found in his Heichale, when he's found in his palace, so not everyone could go in. VIP, special. Have to make an appointment, and they have to go through security. And not everyone gets in. They don't have time for everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah? But by the king, when he goes in the field, everyone could come and greet him. So everyone can speak to him, and the king is Makabel, is Kulam B'Sev Panim Yafis. The king greets everyone with a happy, joyous face. Melech Lasad. So Hashem, same thing also, Hashem comes to every Yid in Elul, and every Yid could ask Hashem, because Hashem's like in the field, and Hashem's accessible to everyone, and they can ask Hashem their bakasha. So So the Rebbe just says that this is what it says in Kuti Torah. The Rebbe says that the person has to be careful now, because since Hashem is so accessible, the Melech is in the field, is so accessible, so a person can say, oh, I can stay the way I am. I can be the way I am, like I'm in the field. So we have to be careful to realize it, to remember, this is the King, this is Hashem, and we have to be prepared for Him.
Careful.
We have to greet Him. Kabbalah Seil Malchus Shamayim, we have to accept Him as our Melech. We have to, even though He's there for us, He's being so nice to us, we're off guard, we're like, oh, okay, we could have a good time. Hold on. Remember, He's the King, and we have to makabel Malchus Shamayim. Right? Because that's why we see also the difference between Elul and Tishrei. Elul is a regular weekday. The whole Elul comes because the King's like in the field. When it comes Tishrei, then it's special days. The Seres Tshuva.
Sure.
You have Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, the biggest days. Yom Kippur. Slichus, and in Elul, people say slichus the whole Elul.
The Sfaradim, the whole month. Ashkenaz.
Anyone starts from Chaf up? Because some places say Chaf up.
already.
Yeah.
So somebody asked me, how come Sfaradim saying the whole month Slichus? Why they have so many Averos? So I answer him, we're saying the whole month for the Ashkenaz.
To cover.
They have so much.
It says that.
It's a good answer.
To cover.
That.
It's a good one.
Shtadel.
It says that Arizal used to say Hashem Bagano. So the question is, why is that Arizal saying Hashem Bagano? Arizal doesn't know Avedis. Say for everyone else, for Klal Yisrael, he used to say Hashem Bagano.
When I was a kid, we asked the Rebbe how come it has a whole list of Averis that everyone blew all those Averis, right? So they used to say it's for the cloud.
Yeah.
You know, Yom Kippur, okay, that's what they told us.
It all counts. Everything counts.
מרוקאי.
מי זה?
אחד סוסן קוראים לו. נותן שיעור משהו, מרתק את כולם.
Yeah, so when we're in the Heichel Malchus, so everyone has their place. You can't go in unless you're the way you're supposed to be. They're not going to let you in the door. You have to be wearing a nice suit, and you have to fix your tie and everything, right? They're not going to let you in the door. But in Elul, you're in the field, you're working the field. So you have to remember, but even though he's there, accessible, be. Yeah. Yeah. So it's called Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim. That's what it's that's called the 13 attributes of mercy. Right, which we say Hashem Karacham Achanon Erchapayim Erchasad Yemes. That's Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim. So it says that's what shines in Elul, which that's basically something higher than Ishtalshalos. What do you mean Ishtalshalos? What are we saying? Ishtalshalos means like we're saying a chain. There's an order. There's the order of everything, right? First and second and third. There's an order. There's Seder, right? First comes Chachma, Chachma, Bina, Das. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Chesed, Heid, Yisayid, Malchus. There's a whole Seder. There's an order how everything goes. That's Seder Shtalsh. Everything works according to the Midas Din. If you're befitting for it, then you get it. If you're not, you don't get it. What's Rachamim? Rachamim means even if you're not the way you're supposed to, you still have Rachmanis. Still gives. That's higher than Ishtalshus. Just like in the person himself. Person has Chachma, Bina, person Chachma. Chachma says, I mean, think about it. Everything's, there's an order and everything. There's a whole order. Rachamim says we go beyond the order. So Hashem in the month of Elul is showing us a Param Seiches, his shining face, happy face. Rachim, Yud Gimel Midas Rachim, which is higher than Shashas. Yeah. In Pri Etz Chaim, talking about Rashi Tevis, an abbreviation. So we have in Pri Etz Chaim. Pri Etz Chaim is the Chaim Vital. And Chaim Vital says he brings from the Arizal.
Tell me the far.
From the Arizal. The Arizal didn't write anything. רב חיים ויטל.
היה התלמיד של הארי, הוא כתב את כל מה שהיה הארי.
Yeah, the whole story how the Arizal never wrote anything. But
I don't remember.
But Reb Chaim Vital wrote it, and he actually, the story was he actually buried it. All the Ksavim, he buried it.
Wow.
And I guess people shouldn't see it. But then afterwards, I think his son did through Shemot. He found it and he brought it up.
The son of Chaim Vital.
Yeah, the whole story how we got it. So he says that Lahavaya Vayemru Leimer Ashira. Yeah, we say in Az Yashir, yeah? Az Yashir. We say Az Yashir Mesh Bnei Yisrael Ashir Azif LaHashem LaHashem Vayemru Leimer Ashira. So LaHashem Lahavaya Vayemru Leimer Ashira. That's backwards Elu. Right? LaHashem Lamed. Vayemru is Vav. Leimer is Lamed. Ashira is Aleph. So it's Elu backwards. Yeah. So what's the connection to Elu? Right? Well, this is Rashi Tei. What's the connection? Right. And also Leimer. Oh, Anila Dei V'Dei Yuli is very famous, right? Anila Dei V'Dei Yuli. There's actually 5 Rashi Teis over here. He just brings this one. There's this is on Yud. It's page 379.
The Lubavitch has a Rashi Tei.
379 and the second column on the bottom. There's 5 Rashi Tevis.
Lubavitch has for Elo Aimul L'Chaim
Vidum.
and
Vidum L'Chaim. They say some communities which are a little more on the depressed side in Elo, they say Oili Vaili.
I hope not.
But in Chassidus they like to say Aimul L'Chaim Vidum L'Chaim. No, in the 379 in the top, look at the top page. Look in the second column on the bottom. See the Yud?
Oh yeah.
So you see? Kriyatz Chaim, Lahavaya, V'Yemru Leimer Ashira. So, what's the connection? And also, what do you mean Leimer? We say Leimer, V'Yemru Leimer, to say it over. All the Yidden were there. Leimer usually means to tell it over to tell it over. Everyone was there by the Shira Hayam, when all the Yidden went through the Yamsuf. So, what are they going to tell? What's the connection to Elul? So Leimer means to tell it to future generations, not to that generation. They were all there. Leimer means to tell the next generation, and every generation they should tell the next generation that it should be Ashir al Hashem ki Goy Go, and we should sing to Hashem that Hashem is Goy Go. What's Goy Go? Double. Hashem is very high. Hashem is very great, very high. Exalted, good. I was looking for the word.
No, it's translated like that.
Yeah, that's a better word. Is Goyagiv Sunaya, the Targum says. So, which means there's exalted beings, there's great ministers, supernal spiritual ministers, angels and everything, which they take care of the nature. The Shtalshals, they take care of everyththing.
It's more of an abstract highness, right?
Yeah.
Nothing so physical.
No. So,
sure it's just like balance, right?
Yeah. Right. So the world is run by very great beings, by exalted beings, by the great Malachim, by the Mazalis, by the zodiacs, right? All the great spiritual beings, which the world is run by, the nature is run by. But when a Jew gives himself over to Hashem, Ashir al Hashem, sings to Hashem, he gives himself over to Hashem, then he connects to Hashem, which is higher than all these angels and mazalis which run the nature of the world. It could be beyond and higher than the.
Sure. They don't have free choice.
Yeah.
We have free choice.
Yeah.
I have a question for the beginning. It said Chesed and Gvura has to be together, and you have to fulfill both of them. But we said everything that Hashem gave us, right? How to say it? That Hakol b'dei Shamayim, chutz mirat Shamayim. If this is b'dei Shamayim, that I have Chesed and Gvura, and I cannot do it b'dei Shamayim.
Yeah, we have to actually do the Aveda. The Eibusha doesn't do it for us. We have to do it. We actually have to work on ourselves to actually do it. Okay, so just to make in a nutshell what we learned today, because tonight it was in 2 minutes. I don't want to keep anyone waiting here. So we learn out from the signs of the kosher, the chewing the cud and split hooves, is that split hooves is like saying that we need to have, in order to show that we're actually not serving Hashem just because this is natural to us, this is what we're comfortable with, this is our nature, but to know that we're actually doing it because Hashem wants, so we have to involve ourselves in both, fully. That's why it's fully split. Fully in two opposite sort of ways, like in this halacha, and at the same time helping other people. Bein adam la'chavavere, bein adam la'makim. And also, and we should always keep thinking about it again and again, re-chewing it like chewing the cud. And the second half of the sikh was about Elul. The Elul, Hashem is in the field, and the smiling face, accepting everyone what they ask for. But we should remember to be careful to also and to reciprocate and to be makabel Hashem, kabbalah seil. And that's also connected, and then at the end he connected with the Rashi Tevis, Hashem Le'imr Le'imr Ashira, is how we should give ourselves over to Hashem, and through that a Yid will be connected to higher than all the ministers. Hashem is higher than all other ministers.